Hello, 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 hello. Welcome in, everybody. Hello, Crow. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing absolutely amazing. How are we all? How are y'all? Hope we're doing well. Today should be good. Today should be good. Let me just... I need to have a quick little look-see here. I hope this doesn't reveal everything. Perfect. It does not. Because I am trying to set this up a little bit better so that both my Streamer.Bot on this stream and the Streamer.Bot on my other stream both work. Hey Ash, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Just trying to set this up so that it actually works. Just takes a quick second. And then hopefully we are able to get our work on. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Let's see if this works. Because I would love to continue working on this bot. I think it could be really cool to get it all set up today. Let me just have a look. Okay, it has connected to that PC. Can it also connect to this PC's WebSocket, please? That would be lovely. That would be absolutely lovely. Hey, Maya, thank you so much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. I heard Frosty raving about me for no good reason. But you know what? We appreciate it greatly. We appreciate it greatly. Just making sure that hopefully this connects now. If it doesn't, I might have to... It also disconnected from the chat PC. Yeah, but that's because the chat PC doesn't... What? That OBS is not on. Oh, that Streamer.Bot is now crashing. Fair enough. She's your wife. I think that's a good reason. Crow, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. That is probably the correct reason. Hello? Just checking. Ah, connecting, disconnected. Why do you keep disconnecting? Are you on the wrong... One sec. I might need to change the password for this one. Nope. Nope. It's trying to reconnect to all of them. I'm gonna reboot that Streamer.Bot for a second. Hopefully that'll work. This one is working. This one says it is already running. Okay. Great. That's not what I asked for. And then we're going to work on the TTS bot. I'm going to try and improve that a little bit. Because really, we have everything fixed, right? It actually connects and everything. Don't think that's working at the moment. I don't think that's working at the moment. That is a shame. Let's see if I can... do this. If it doesn't work, that's fine. No, there we go. It connected instantly. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, so there were just a little bug. Just a little bug. Fantastic. So we can get to work. Which is going to be good because I think we have a lot of the things that should be working. Like everything is doing what it should. Everything is... Oh, 1 second. Let me switch to the other side so you guys can see. There. Now you guys can see, like, everything here is working. It gets the current TTS. It gets all these things as it should. The only problem we're still dealing with is that it's very slow. So when somebody does redeem the TTS, it tends to go, it's not fast enough. It's just not fast enough. So we're going to be working on that a little bit. Of course, this is quite small for you guys, isn't it? Which is not great. Is it also blurry, or is that just me? That may just be me looking weird. Let me see. So the first thing we're going to do is just have a look at what everything actually does. We're going to put Streamer or Speaker.Bot to the side for a little bit. And then we have here, so this grabs the timestamp from the VOD, which is an improvement we've done since last time, because this allows me when, if we are live, like we are right now, right, we can get the VOD timestamp into the Discord message that we're sending out. And then we have a hide widget thing, a next message hotkey, reset. That's all fine. It's this one. This one is the slow one, I think. And that may be in part because of the code that's in here. Because we do a lot from file. Like, we do a whole lot from file. And if we could get rid of a lot of these file things, that would speed things up, because every time it reads a file, it takes a few 100 milliseconds. But seeing that it does this like 1, 2, like here it reads from file, here it reads from file, here it doesn't read from file, but that it does. Why is it importing the wait time here? Oh, because it needs to compute that here, doesn't it? Here, checks the current time, the redemption date time, and then it writes it to it. Yeah, that's it. Hey, anime station. Oh, it's a bot. Let me get that. Why is that coming? Thank you. Why can't I ban on my own channel? That's interesting. Oh, because I'm not on the right channel, am I? I'm not on the right channel. 1 second. There we go. There we go. And another one. And another. Holy shit. Okay. Can I add banned phrases? Phrase. That's a lot of them. That's a serious amount. Holy shit. Let me just add that to the... Don't delete that one. If another one comes in, Ash, leave it there for a second. I just need to add that as a banned phrase. No, there's no need to go follow only. There's no need. Moderation. Block terms. Stream boo. There we go. Now they can't do anything anymore. Followers and viewers. Cheap followers. Cheap viewers. Now they just can't say those things anymore. That's going to make life a lot easier. And especially stream boo. Boom. Done. Someone's just talking about the excess of scam bots. Think it's a risk to... No, it's absolutely not a risk, Cryptic. It's not a risk, and I can tell you why it's not a risk as well. Because they are very easily dealt with. Look, I'm gonna show you something, Cryptic. I'm gonna show you something. And I think you're gonna like this. So, not this one. Where's the other one? There's the other one. What you can do... So this is just me on stream, right? What you do is you go here to the top right corner and you go to Creator Dashboard. Once that opens, head into your settings. Yeah? Moderation. In moderation, you have blocked terms and phrases. You go into blocked terms and phrases and you just add these. Cheap followers, cheap viewers, followers and viewers, and stream boo. Then what you're going to do... Once you've done that, there's one more thing you need to do, and it's super, super simple. I just need to scroll down here. Chat verification. Some chatters must have a verified email. Chatters without a verified email must have followed for more than 1 week. And that's it. And VIPs and moderators are excluded. That's literally all you have to do. Once you've done that, they can't write anymore. You just do that. It's what I've done for the Mathman channel as well, and it has blocked all follow bots. Just all together. No follow bots anymore for 2 weeks now. And you just do that and you're done. Now nothing can happen anymore. Also, tick this on if you want. The terms once more? Yeah, absolutely. So in block terms and phrases, you just block things like followers and viewers. The name of the website, cheap followers, cheap viewers. Once you have those four, 90% of the people that are going to try and bot your channel, they're blocked. The only thing you have to watch out for, and that is a genuine concern, is when a new website pops up. Well, when a new website pops up, what do? You just add it to the blocked list. And you're fine. You're absolutely fine. Okay, I'm quickly gonna reboot the camera hub as well. Apparently everything wants to break on me today. Because then I can see you guys in front of me, and that's gonna make life a little easier. You had one mention, the last one Friday night. Mods were quick back. Yeah, but if you just do these terms, you should be fine. You should be absolutely fine. So that's really all you need to do. And then you have that set. That's really everything. Let's see. Let me also open Paint in case I want to explain something else later. Okay, let's get back into the code. So why do I need to know the do I even need this? Oh yeah, I do need the path. I just don't need to read it in. I write to it later. Yeah. That's fine. But reading here. So this is a problematic line. Can I flag these lines? I cannot. Notepad++ can. But that's unhelpful. And then we have the current redemption here. That's also a read. Or lines current here. Time span, that's fine. Because that's exactly what we want, right? That's exactly what we want. This time string should also be correct. Like, everything here is correct. What's missing is the speed. And really, this is our only write. And it's to the wait time. I think this is going to be fine. Then we have the widget show, widget hide, reset. This sets everything back to 0. Speak message works as well. So if we go to processing. So there's 2 ways to do this. And the first way that I have chosen is I'm not queuing stuff up in Streamer.Bot. You can technically do that as well. Where you could have a... so this is the way that Pirate Software does it. Where he has a queue in Streamer.Bot. And that just sends it to the TTS bot. What I do instead is whenever somebody speaks, it queues up in the TTS bot. And that is the thing that I check. Now, if I would queue them up here, we may be able to save a lot of space and a lot of reading. Because what we could do, all the variables and everything is kept in here. We can give it a try, I suppose. We can give it a try. Hey, Specking, how are you doing? This is... Oh, this is the same one. That's not the one I wanted. I want this one if we're going to be messing around with stuff. And this one. So this is the one that is connected to the current stream, not the other stream. Also, I quickly want to do something here. I feel like my the camera has shifted place since I last streamed because I messed around a little bit with it. Let me just... There. That's a little better. There we go. That's a lot nicer. That's a lot nicer. I can actually see. And you guys can see my face a bit better. Okay. So what we're going to do is... this is just copied in, right? Exactly how it was. So what we are going to do is... whenever it needs to speak a message... right now, we write everything to a file. We're not going to do that anymore. Really, all we are going to do is take the info that I have here and instead save it in Streamer.Bot. I can't put that there because then it's blocked. So what we're going to do here is if event source Twitch, it takes in some data. If event source is YouTube, it takes in data. And if event source is Stream Elements, it takes in data. And that's really it. That is all we wanted to do. But we may actually be able to do that a lot easier. First off, if a Stream Elements tip comes in, all this data is already saved. Literally. It's there. Oh, that is not good, Specking. I hope you get some rest very, very soon. I really do. So, what we are going to do, I think, just for simplicity's sake, is we are going to say speak message, and we'll call this Stream Elements. And we want this one to trigger if Stream Elements receives a tip. Any tip. The first thing that means is if we open... Hello? If we open Streamer.Bot and specifically go to the wiki, docs, then we can check, hey, Slow Roll, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Stream, elements, is it? Yeah, elements. There we go. Stream elements, tip triggers. So this is what we receive. We receive tip amount, tip avatar, tip currency, tip message, and tip username. Okay. What do we want to do with this? What we can do is we're just going to set some arguments. Because that's what we really want. And we want to have the same arguments for every single one of these redeems. How are you doing, Slow? I hope you're doing well. So we're going to go tip username. Actually, we're just going to call this username. Tip username. And the reason I want to call it username is because that is also what we are going to use. No, we're going to use user for the other ones. So I just want to call it... I'm being a muppet. Tip username is user. Because I want to have them all have the same name. And then tip message becomes message. And then tip avatar. I just want to save the tip avatar if I can at all. I don't think YouTube does this. So for that, we might have to load a standard image. Yep, you guys did. But I mean, Ash did ban the right person. I did not. Because I'm an idiot. And then what we want to do this here is tip. We want to tip currency. And then we'll call that currency. And duplicate that. No, I'm pretty sure I'm doing this the wrong way around. Yeah. User is tip username. Avatar. Tip avatar. I completely did this the wrong way around. Tip message. So that's just going to be message. That is tip message. Tip currency. That's not going to exist. Instead, we are going to call this amount. And that is going to be tip currency. Space. Tip amount. Because that combines them to one string, right? Super. And we are going to do the similar things for both YouTube and for Twitch. So let's do that. Stream Elements becomes YouTube. And this Stream Elements copy becomes Twitch. And YouTube will not have a Stream Elements tip trigger. It will have a YouTube super chat trigger at any value. Similar for Twitch. We are going to delete that one and we're going to say Twitch chat cheer trigger. Okay. But those use different triggers. So we're going to go back here. Going to keep this one. I also want YouTube. And super chat. There we go. So all we have to do here, the way back from work was quite scary. You really had trouble staying up in the car. You know what? Wait, what? Enter a message. No, that's not what I asked you to do. Stream it. What? Is Stream Elements okay? What just happened? I don't know if Stream Elements is okay, to be honest. I really don't know if it's okay. Wait, did that add it to Streamer.Bot? It did not. It did not. Interesting. Okay. Oh, we'll put that down here. We'll continue working. We'll continue working. Because this one should still have caught it if anything happened. Okay. Let's do YouTube first. So amount here is going to have to become currency code amount. Because that's going to be, again, like USD this much. Unless the string for amount is going to be including like a $sign or something like that. Let's see what the action history is for that one. Check the action history and then we see, yeah, it already includes a $sign, so we don't need to do this. Amount is just amount. The message is message. But I want all these to come out as the same thing. So avatar, we cannot use. So instead, I will fix this with a specific HTTP. So I'm just going to go YouTube logo. I don't know. Yeah, I know that's Adobe stock. We can't use that. We can't use that. I'm being silly. Twitch. Let's quickly just open the content delta Twitch. Because then I can just go in here, click on open image in new tab, and take this image. It's just a placeholder. It's just a placeholder. It's fine. That's now just static. And then we have tip username, and that has to be wait. Amount message? It doesn't say. Oh, YouTube user. There we go. User. It's just user. Can I? Oh, I can use this instead. That might be the better option. Just as a placeholder. Okay. So then we have the YouTube one done. Now we need to do the Twitch one. Twitch. No, not just Twitch. Twitch cheer. And there should be a trigger. Triggers Twitch chat cheer. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And this one is going to be user. I know user is just a thing for Twitch. Avatar is... Oh, no, wait. For Twitch, we can do something else. Because it doesn't take in what I want it to take in for cheer parameter. Twitch user, get user info from target from user. Because now I will have a thing called target what's it called again? It is called target something something. OBS sources. This is just my cheat way to checking it. Because it says it here. Target user profile image URL. Okay. So it's target user image profile URL. Boom. So the avatar should now be set to the profile image. The message, I believe for Twitch chat, is called... Ah, yes. The message is message. But we're going to need message cheer emote stripped later on. So I'm going to add in message. And amount is going to be bits. And then just with text, bits. There we go. As I said, we are going to need the message stripped as well. But I think we're going to need that later on when we check if the message without anything in it is empty. The reason we want to check if that is empty, we can actually do that right away. OBS. No, core. Logic, if else. Variable. The variable we are going to want is message cheer emote stripped. And if that is empty, so is null or empty, then break. And what this does is if somebody sends a cheer of 100 bits, 500 bits, any sort of bits, and doesn't add any message afterwards, so it's just cheer 500 or cheer 100, nothing else, then it goes, should this be a TTS message? No, it shouldn't. Okay, bye. Because it's empty. If it isn't empty, Then it starts doing all these things. So now we've set up all the arguments. And that is the first step. And then all we really want this to do is send a message to Speaker.Bot. Which one should I use? Probably Speak. Voice alias is Basic Brian. I think I called it Basic Brian on this one. Let me just check. Voice aliases. Oh, we only have Clan Dancy. I haven't even set up my alias as well. Okay. That's no problem.
This is a test message.
Well, Clan Dancy doesn't sound great, but that's okay. We'll go with Clan Dancy. And it's going to be, the message is going to be user dropped amount. So this is for Twitch. And says message. That's it. That's all we need to have it do. For YouTube, I'm going to do a very similar thing. However, for YouTube, there is a message here, yeah. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing. It's just going to be an if-else statement, I think. Yep. If message is empty, then break. So if the message is empty, then there's nothing. If it isn't, then user dropped a amount super chat and says message. Okay. We're going to do the same with stream elements, which is even simpler. If else, variable tip message is null or empty, then break. And that's just, it's just gonna prevent bloat, right? So if somebody does this, that's great. This is not our alert. You can attach the same thing to an alert somewhere else. But what this is going to do specifically is work on the TTS stuff. And what we want this to do afterwards is the exact same thing. We just wanted to say, but we wanted to say user dropped amount, dropped a tip through amount, no, tip, and says message. And the reason for that is now whenever it drops one of these three, it sends the message. Emery, thank you so much for the follow, you legend. So that's nice and simple. Or simple. Simple. Right? How are you doing, Emery? But that's fairly okay. And then so now we have new ways to get Speaker.Bot to do things. But the problem is now if it triggers immediately and it's gone. So we're going to have to make an action queue, which we will call TTS, which we make blocking, because if we make it blocking, that means that we can actually go in here and when it now plays, it stops, right? I'm actually going to call it text-to-speech just to make it a little bit longer. We're doing the same here, text-to-speech, and we're doing the same here, text-to-speech. Okay. You know what? I am going to move these to TTS version 2. because they are... This is going to be the next... Hopefully this is going to be the next version. 2. And that is going to be a lot faster. Because the last one, I had to wait 10 to 15 seconds to actually get it to do stuff. Which was problematic. Okay, I am gonna start TTS and then TTS v2. Oh, crap. There. TTS v... Why can't I do that? Oh, because it already is called... We already have something called start TTS. So I'm gonna call this v2 as well, just so it works. And reset TTS we can also just duplicate. Because these just set stuff to start things up and set stuff to 0. However, we are going to change one thing in the start TTS. Because right now it sets Speaker.Bot to a paused state. But we're now not going to do anything with Speaker.Bot. Instead, we want it to take the queue. I don't know exactly where that is. Settings? No. Voice control, user, system. No. Sounds, no. Let's zoom in a little bit for you guys. Network, miscellaneous, MIDI. No. Globals, commands. Set action group state. Action queues. Action queues. Set action queue pause state to pause. And what that does, not all the queues, just the text-to-speech queue. So now, if we go in here and we just say, oh, Twitch chat, test the trigger. Look.
Bales 2510 dropped 42 bits and says, this is a Twitch cheer trigger test, Shamrock 42.
Well, that worked. It was loud, but it worked. However, if we start TTS first, then do that again, it now stays there. And it stays there because it is paused. It will not start playing until it is unpaused. I like that. I like that. That is good. That is very good. So now we only use Speaker.Bot to actually... Why did it go for poll? It should not have gone for poll. I don't know what that is, but that's fine. That's fine. It doesn't really matter which voice it currently chooses. You can change the voice it chooses anyway. So, speak messages, very easy. Start, reset. We also need the stop message button. And really what the stop message button just does, we're just going to duplicate that. This one just stops it from speaking. So, for example, if somebody throws in a link or puts in one of those... what are they called? A sprinkler goes... That one. That one. If somebody does that, you can hit a button or hit a hotkey and it will stop speaking. If you don't want that sort of stuff. So that will work just fine. So now the only thing we need to have and need to rebuild is the next message hotkey, for which we are going to need this one. So let's duplicate that one as well to TTS v2. And really the only reason I'm still doing this, because the other one, as I said, the v1 works fine. It's just... It's so slow. It's really, really slow. Kind of now feel like these should also be called v2. Okay, that seems... Yeah. Seems fine, doesn't it? Hey, you idiot, how you doing? I love that you're called You Idiot Blair. That's a good name. That's a good name. So, now what we have is... If somebody uses bits, if somebody uses a super chat or a tip, it adds it to the queue. But what do we do after? Well, it adds it to the queue. It's going to rack that up. And we want it to let one new voice through. Right? That's the first step. And to let one new voice through, we are going to make a new one. We'll call this TTSV2 next message. And what we are going to do, it's really simple. Action queue, set not blocked state, set pause state, resume. We're going to delay that for 100 milliseconds. And then we are going to duplicate that. And we're going to say pause again. You were 16 and YouTube frustrated you because the name you wanted was taken. Oh, that is funny. That is funny. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. I had no idea. Oh, it's Nuki. Hi, Nuki. Wait. Okay. This may sound really stupid, right? But, are we live on YouTube as well? Did I not realize that we are live on YouTube? I thought I was just live on Twitch at the moment. Hello? I am live. Wonderful. Who knew? Oh, you are also on YouTube, Ash. Lovely. Lovely. I did not know that. Brilliant. Brilliant. That's okay, though. That's okay. I should probably give it a thumbnail. I will change this thumbnail later. One sec. Luckily, I think I had another one ready. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, it now has a thumbnail. Fantastic. I had no idea. I had no idea. It happens. It happens. Just a little one anyway. I know it wasn't planned or anything, but I always like going live on this channel anyway. So we have the super chat done. Next message. So the next message is now sort of done. Hey, Taxal Bro Hunter or Fire Beast Hunter, how you doing? How you doing? Is it okay if I call you Taxal? I hope it's okay. I hope it's okay. So we've got the next message, and this should actually work. So we have none currently processing. We do have one in the action queue. So let's test this. I notice the voice is going to sound terrible, but that's fine.
Ultimiata dropped 42 bits and says, this is a Twitch cheer trigger test, cheer 42.
So yes, that does work. I'm also going to turn down the application volume to like 70%. Hey, Emery, over on the other side as well. Maria, thank you so much for the lurk. But that was not all that our old version could do, right? If we look at the old version, just to give you guys an idea. Hey, Luca, thank you so much for the follow. So the next message hotkey did not just do this. It did more than just this. Because it also ran the get current VOD with timestamp. So let's add that as well as an action. What if you want to blow everybody's ear off? Then leave it on the high. Leave it on high. That works. Yeah. But I don't. I don't want to blow everybody's ears off. We're going to do that first. We're going to do that first. And then the next thing I wanted to do... You should behave in class. No, no need to behave. The next thing we want to do is, so now we get the VOD. Okay, so it only works for Twitch VODs, right? Because YouTube doesn't allow this. But we can get the Twitch VOD and the exact, like, second, literally the exact second that it happens. Some of your tips really helped me to make my stream look much nicer. I wanted to follow for more here. Let's go, Luca. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, so my main channel, for those that don't know, many of you know me from my main channel. MathmanEU is partnered streamer over on Twitch. But this is a new channel on Twitch. So I'm trying to sort of get to the point of at least affiliate. For the rest, I don't really care. I really don't care. Because I'm just having fun when I'm live streaming. I do have another channel, Ash. Yeah. Yeah. You also have a sword there. But you knew that. Gremlin. Okay. So we've got this done. We've got this done. Which is good. This is the good stuff. No, that's not here, Cryptic. I mean, you can. You can. I just don't have a button to say no to you. I'd be okay with it. That's no problem. So what's the next thing we want this to do? Let's have a look at what the old version did. So the old version got the VOD, got Speaker.Bot to work, and then it did a whole shitload of code. But I don't want to do it like that. So this time, we are going to... We are going to play this game a little bit different. So we are going to, in the start TTS, we're going to start globals. Global set. Variable name is current TTS. Hey, Flash, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing absolutely amazing. And we'll set the argument, not to an argument, I'll set it to value 0. And we'll do another one, which is going to be total TTS, which is also going to be 0. And then we're going to do one more, which is wait time. And that one we might have to... What'd you call that? That one we might have to play around a bit with C#. But for now, I'm just going to set this to wait time. And we're going to set this to wait time 000000. There we go. There we go. So this is just whenever we start up, it sets 3 global settings. 3 global variables. Current TTS, total TTS, and wait time. Whenever we press next message, or sorry, whenever one of the speak messages happens, yeah, we are going to have to set. And the global variable, how are we going to do this? Can I recover the argument? Wait, what does set global do? Streamer.Bot set global argument or variable. Set global variable. So set global variable, this sub actions stores it, val option global user, redeemer, target, don't care, value, increment. Take the current global value and add the specified value to it. Brilliant. That's exactly what we want. That is genuinely exactly what we want. So global set variable name is total TTS, and we'll say increment 1. And we'll paste that in the other two. So now whenever this triggers, the global increment should increase by 1. Right? That's what it should do. But when we next message, we want the current TTS. Every time we press this button, we want the current TTS to go up by 1. Okay. So let's run this one again. Test strip. No, not that one. This one. Now I need to remove... Can I remove that? Oh, that should not be in the queue. Why are you waiting? You're in the default queue. The default queue should not be paused. Paused, yes. Resume all queues.
Instrument dropped a dollar amount super chat and says, test super chat.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, but now we should have, if we look in the variables, yes, we do. We have current TTS, total TTS, and wait time. Brilliant. That's really good. That's really good. So... like, reset currently is writing to files, and it doesn't need to do that anymore in this version, because now we reset at the start of the stream by opening some variables, right? Speaker.Bot clear pending. Yeah, execute code. I don't know what the execute code does, but we'll look at that in a bit. For now, I'll just disable it, so I know that I have to look at it. The next message increases the current TTS by 1. And it sets the global TTS that these three do. That is good. So now there's only one thing we have to do. Is get the wait time to work. And the trick to do that here is, if we test one of these, that's just going to pause. That's exactly what we want. If we look at the variables, we have an action queued at. Right there. We have an exact number, which is what we want. And then when we do the next message thing, which I can see in the history, we also have an action queued at thing. So if I also record the action queued at moment, in these messages, so we'll say timestamp is going to be action queued at, and that should be the same for all of these. Oh, no, wait. No. Queued at is fine because it's not activation time, right? It's when it was queued. That's important because we need the queue time to be able to give a time difference. That's how I see it, at least. And then here, what we want to do, and I don't know if this is easy, is we're gonna take, whenever we press this button, and we want to minus that from what we have in these. Should we set this to be global? No, because if it gets queued multiple times... Ooh. Okay, that's gonna be a weird one. Because this one just unpauses the queue. Right? And then it runs it. This is not gonna work. Think. So what we want to do... What we want to do is grab the time the moment we press the button. Which is going to be when this action is queued. This action is queued the exact moment that we want to grab the timestamp from. But we also want to record whatever the timestamp is for this. So that means we might need another global. Yes. Think this is gonna work. So we're gonna say TTS queued TTS queued at, and that is gonna be argument, and the argument it's going to be is action queued at. So whenever this one starts playing, it says the argument queued at. No, we set this one to 0. And in this one, we set it. I don't even know if this needs to be a global. TTS queued at. There we go. So the idea now is that whenever this one is played, it sets the global variable TTS queued at to the value queue action at. Right? Except it didn't set. Why didn't you set? Is something wrong with wait time that causes you not to set when I say start TTS? There's a reason you're not setting. Oh, to the oh, doi. The value is 0. Not the variable 0. There we go. And now we have TTS queued at. Yep. We're just gonna change. It doesn't really need to change, but it just feels right to change it to this. Okay, so then whenever somebody redeems something, it gets written, or it gets stamped and prepared to be written into that. Right? That is why we have TTS queued at updating here to the value of the action queue. So far, so good. Now, how are we going to actually record that as a thing? How are we actually going to record that as a thing? Can we just do this the dumb way? Can we just set the global wait time? Right? Because we can do this globally. Global set wait time. And can we do math on this, on globals? Data can be stored in a temporary store or persisted. Persisted will be saved. This is the name. Oh. Streamer.Bot cannot retrieve data from any store if the initial letter is capitalized. Interesting. I didn't know that. Take the global value and the specified value only. Okay, so I need to test this by just clicking value and say math. And then the value that we want is TTS QDAT minus... Actually, we want to have action QDAT. Because the action QDAT we're talking about here, that is the next message action. And we're just gonna be dumb. We're just gonna be dumb and minus the TTS QDAT. And I wonder if Streamer.Bot is able to handle this, where it considers the timestamps as values and then immediately converts it back to a timestamp. That's my question. Else we're gonna have to do this in C#. That's fine as well. That would take like 2 minutes anyway. So variables are currently all reset, right? It's all reset. So and we have one queued up. Is that the old version? I don't know. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. Just gonna give this a quick test trigger.
Test user dropped a USD 42 tip and says this is a stream elements tip trigger test.
Okay, if you guys look here on the left-hand side, you can see that it did not do that as I was hoping. It did not do what I hoped. It did not just go, oh, that is mathematics. Very nice. I will handle that. So we're going to have to play around with that. That's no problem. We're just going to delete this. But it did take the right TTS queue time. Because it's 10 minutes later now. Set. Are we gonna have to do this with C#? Probably. Let me see. Streamer.Bot. Compute on timestamps. No. No, you cannot do that. Not immediately. Okay, we'll just use C#. Not a problem. C#, execute C# code. I'm just going to compile and save it. Because what I really want to do is go to the other next message hotkey that we have, where we have code. And the code's already in there. Grab the current date and time. Then compute a time span difference between the redemption and listen. And output the difference truncated. It's really what we want. So what it does is, we're going to have to change this a little bit, of course, but I just want to have this as my reference code. Not even going to put it in there. This needs to be deleted at the end. So what we're going to do is datetime. Ooh, no, first. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. What we want to do first, and this is always, I need to copy this. I always need to copy this one. Because what that does is it retrieves, but this time it's not a local. Is it? No, we need to retrieve a global. So it's cph get global var. Get global variable. The variable is going to be a string. The variable name is going to be TTS queued at. Think I need to do it like that. And persisted, I really don't care about. 1. True. Persisted is true. And then I need to remove this. And that compiles. Immediately. Okay, so that should now be able to get the TTS queued at as a... And that's a string. And we will call this TTS queued. Because we want to use that. And then we're going to go date time, TTS queued time. And that is just TTS queued. That actually seems a bit double. Can we just go to date time on this one? And make this a datetime thing. Do I need anything for datetime? String does not contain a definition for toDateTime. Wait, yes it does. Yes it does. I did it right here. Look. Right here, datetime. Oh, it's datetime parse. We need to parse it as datetime. Datetime parse. Some things you can cast to datetime or to specific classes like a string. Others you have to parse like an integer. Hopefully that works. Hopefully it does that correctly. And then we'll go datetime now time. Let's call this TTS time. And really, this is just datetime now. And then what we want to do is time span. Time span? I think it's time span. Did I copy it again? I didn't. This is nice when you have like a reference box, but you can't open 2 different codes at the same time as Streamer.Bot. I think that is one of the most frustrating parts when you are doing this sort of coding. Yeah, so we just need time span, difference time is current date time minus redemption. No, not redemption date time. It is now time minus TTS time. And that gives us a time span. Specifically, that should give us a time span that is... Yeah, that should be correct. So that should give us the time between the first or the now and the TTS time. Yes. And then what we want to do is set or cph set global variable. The variable name is wait time. The value it should become is difference time to string substring 08. So what this does if people have no idea. What this does, it is takes the first 8 characters in the datetime string, and it sets it as the new wait time. Now, I already know that the first 8 characters is hour, colon, minute, colon, second. That should be 8. So we can just set it as that, and then return true. That seems right. So now... Oh, we have just started the stream. Everything is... Okay. We have just started the stream. Everything is set to I said everything is set to 0. What? Why haven't you set everything to 0? It's not changing the variable. Okay. It's waiting. There's something not right. Oh, don't resume all. Resume text-to-speech. Pause text-to-speech. That's what's wrong. Okay, so if I quickly unpause all queues. And then we pause this one. So that one is paused. And now, yeah, everything's set to 0, 0, 0, 0. It's good. It's good. Okay, test 1. We redeem a super chat. We redeem the super chat. At which point... it should immediately run. Or at least increase the total TTS time. Which means we are gonna... Okay. 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 Fair enough. Fair enough. We are gonna have to do this a little bit different, but that's okay. We'll do that in a second. Let's first test if the timestamp is correct.
Frosty Pie dropped a dollar amount super chat and says test
Look,
super chat.
The wait time says 00:0050. Very nice. Okay. Next step. Add TTS v2 speak message. This is going to be the speak message master. And really what that just does... I want that to increase the total TTS. The problem is, I don't want it to increase the total TTS if the tip message is empty. So, how am I gonna... That's gonna be a nesting just terror, isn't it? That's gonna be a nesting terror. And it's not gonna look nice. Oh, no. It's gonna look weird on our end. It's not gonna look weird on the display end. It's not gonna look weird on the display end. it's only gonna look weird here. So we also want to speak message, no message correction. And what this message, so, and I'll explain what this does. I'll explain what this is going to do. So, the first thing that was going to happen, right, is the master, that is the one that's going to run. So these are not going to run. We're going to copy this, paste it here, copy this, paste it here, copy this. No, that's a test trigger, damn. Paste it here. We don't need these here anymore. One second. Yeah. So we are going to take the stream elements thing. Whenever this happens, we are going to increase the total TTS by 1. Then what we are going to do is we are going to ask what is going on, right? And we're going to say if the variable, and the variable we are going to use here is going to be, it has an event source. If event source equals Twitch, then we are going to run the Twitch thing. We're going to duplicate this. If the event source is YouTube, it's going to do the YouTube thing. If the event source is stream elements, is that all lowercase? I need to check. Event source, yes. But what is the event source if I do this? Frosty! Frosty, thank you for the raid. How was the rest of your game? I heard something about crashes, which is never good. I hope you're okay. I hope everything wasn't too bad, at least. So it drops event source, but what does it become? Twitch. No, wait. Tip shouldn't be Twitch. What? It crashed, but it was fine. Oh, I'm rough. That's rough. That's rough. I'm sorry to hear that. Streamer.Bot, stream elements. Let's try that. I hope you had a wonderful time, though. I can't wait for Thursday. Thursday is going to be good fun. I'm really looking forward to that. Really, really looking forward to that. All integrations. But don't I do this check already somewhere? I think this is just lowercase stream elements. Wait. I have it in an action queue? No, that was the YouTube chat I triggered. Okay, let's trigger the stream element one. Test trigger. Yeah, it's gonna do it right away.
Percent dropped a dollar amount dollar super chat and says percent message percent.
Source stream elements tip, but event source is stream elements all lowercase. Okay, so I did that right, and when it does that, it should do the stream elements speak message. Aha! Hey McKenna, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. What's up, Frosty? I did not. Do you want me to go grab those? Yeah, okay. I will. I will. So what we now have... I'm doing really well, McKenna. I'm doing really, really well. By the way, you can, if you want to, you can just call me Math, or you can just call me Barry. That's all fine. That's all fine. So if event is Twitch, it does the Twitch thing. If event is YouTube, it does the YouTube thing. If event is stream elements, it does the stream elements thing. The problem is, in each of these, we are checking if the specific message that they communicate is empty. If it's empty, we do not want it to do anything. Hey, one in charge. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. So we do not, if that happens, right? If that happens, we do not want the TTS to increase if it's actually empty. So the total TTS, we are here. Here we are increasing, but I want a no message correction. And what that does, very simply, is we are going to set the global TTS total, and we're just going to increment it by -1. Right? We're just going to cancel. We're just going to cancel the increment. And instead of doing nothing, we are going to message correct. We're just going to correct it. And then the total should not change. Which would be really, really good. And if the total doesn't change, then that would mean even here, once we're done with this, the total TTS will stay at whatever it is, and it won't update anything. That's the important part. It won't update anything. Because what we can do now is use these globals to update. Because we only wanted to update, and we're going to update, what we're going to update is text GDI sources. So I'm going to show you guys, you'll be able to see this right on the screen. We are going to add a text GDI source in OBS. It's called text GDI. And we are going to call this text current TTS. And we'll just set a 1 in there for now. I'm going to make it a weird color so you guys can easier see it. We'll make it teal. And we'll leave it. I'm going to change it from Arial. I was going to leave it, but I really don't like Arial as a font. Such a horrible font. To Montserrat. Montserrat, please. Hello. Montserrat. Thank you. Bold. Let's do extra bold. Bold. Extra bold. We'll go extra bold. There we go. So now you see the big old 1 over here, right? And what we wanted to do, so this is current TTS that it should be, I believe. Yes. And in the next message, we will go OBS. And we'll go, that's core, OBS, sources, set GDI text. In the screen scene, current TTS, we'll set that to TTS current. That is a global... That is a global source. Sorry, it's not called TTS current. It's called current TTS. Test. Okay, that didn't work. And that's because we didn't put that to an argument. So we're going to do... I'm going to move this down so it's not in the way. Global get variable name current TTS. TTS current? No, current TTS. That's the new variable name. Destination variable is gonna be current TTS or local current TTS. Default value is 0. And then we should be able to write local current TTS here. And now, do we have anything in the queue? We do have something in the queue. So if I press this button, which I don't have a button for yet. Test trigger. It turns into 2.
Frosty Pie dropped a dollar amount super chat and says test super chat.
Yeah, it's just test. It's just tests. Now, we can do something very similar, of course, with the master ones, but we're going to do that in these. We're going to do that in these. So, and I know Clan Dancy sounds very robotic. No, he really is the CEO of Twitch. That's the person you guys are hearing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. And we're going to do a very similar thing here. So I'm just going to copy it. Just going to copy the sub action. Put it in the Stream Elements one. Now, the reason I don't want it to get the total TTS... Yeah, definitely not a robot. It's definitely not a robot. No, no, no. It is 100% the CEO of Twitch. Yeah. So we're gonna totaled TTS. Okay. And that becomes local total TTS. And we only want to update the total TTS in a very similar way. We only want to update the total TTS if this actually goes through. Otherwise, it just stays at that number that we predefined, right? Which is currently 2. So I'm gonna, in OBS, I am going to make another source, a total TTS source. And we'll just call that, yeah, total TTS. Okay, here we have it. It currently is on 2. So the current is on the left. The total is on the right. And we can make this look pretty in a bit. Trust me, we can make this look pretty in a bit. But this is just for testing purposes. And what we are going to do is the total TTS needs to increase if this ends. So we're going to once again go into OBS, source, set GDI text, screen scene, total TTS, and this is going to be local total TTS. Okay. Now, if we copy those two, so we're going to have to copy all those to the Twitch one as well, and to the YouTube one. And we'll do that here as well. We'll do that here as well. Hey, Inspira, how are you doing? I hope you're well. I hope you're well. So now we have that it increases the total first. If there is no message, it decreases the total again. And now it grabs the total and sets the text. Let's see if this works. So let's say it's a Stream Elements chat. Oh, it turned to 3.
Test user dropped a USD 42 tip and says, this is a Stream Elements tip trigger test.
Wonderful. Except I didn't actually press you, and you should have gone to the text-to-speech queue. So why haven't you gone to the text-to-speech queue? It's quite important. It's sort of why I have you here. Because I really do need you to go there.
KitKat585 dropped 42 bits and says, this is a Twitch cheer trigger test. Scoops 42.
Oh! Oh, that's not good. Hey, Hannah, how are you doing? I did not know that Streamer.Bot worked like that. So if I trigger the master because it's not in the text-to-speech thing, okay, we're going to change this. This is going to be total count up, right? And all this is going to do Literally, all this is going to do is just, whenever one of these three is triggered, so whenever a stream elements tip or a cheer or a super chat comes in, this is just going to say, we're going to increase the total by 1. We're going to always increase the total TTS by 1. And then each of these will have to trigger on their own. Stream elements tip. Boom. Okay. Twitch. Chat. Cheer. Okay. YouTube. And this will still do what we want it to do. This will still correct if the message is 0. Because it's not going to update the counter anyway. So the counter can be wrong. Okay, let me just put this in, because I'm stumbling upon another problem. See, because now, whenever there's anything happening, it's going to count up. But it shouldn't. It shouldn't count up. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Hannah. That is not great. That is unpleasant. The problem is now, and here, now the programmer thinking comes in, right? The mathematical thinking. What if people redeem 5, 10, 20 of these at a time? It's going to count the total up and up and up. But it's not actually going to do anything. It's so, as strange as it is, these tests that are going to remove that number again actually screw it up. Because these are going to wait, and it's not going to minus until it's going to write. So we can end up from 1 to like 21 because there are 21 in queue. And that's not how this is supposed to work. Because if we now trigger this, yeah, exactly. It puts the value in the global variable, or it gets the hose again. But the problem is, whenever I trigger this, it doesn't actually work. It just sort of hangs out here until later, which means that updating the total based on that is really, really bad. That is how did I... Okay. So we're gonna remove this. This whole message correction system doesn't work. The total count up we also don't need. Nightly, thank you so much for the follow. You absolute legend. You absolute legend. Thank you so, so much. Let's clear these. And then, so, whatever, it doesn't add a, but it has to add the total TTS every time. It has to add the total TTS every time. How would I solve this? You can call me Math, Nightly, if you want. Math or Barry, as usual, is fine by me. Hey Inosuke, how are you doing over on YouTube? I hope you're doing well. Oh, this is so frustrating. Because we can't even increase the global TTS over here. That doesn't work. Because we need to, whenever it's redeemed, right? Whenever it's redeemed, it needs to go through. So, really, the fact that we're checking if the tip message is empty is a problem. That's the problem. If we remove that, we're fine. Because then everything becomes a TTS, even if there's no message. Either way, you love this. You're glad I'm doing this. Thank you so much, Nightly. I like doing these. I really do. By the way, is everything legible for you guys, or is it too small? If it's too small, let me know, and I'll try and do something about it. It is too small. Okay. Let me see. Can I do this on the fly? What if I put my zoom factor to a lot smaller, so it zooms less? That is still very... It feels very blurry for you guys. I think I know why, by the way. I think I know why. My screen is 1440p. And yeah, it doesn't really like dealing with that very well. So that was too small of a zoom. Okay, it's slightly blurry, but that should at least be legible, and it follows my mouse nicely. Okay, so we have this check that checks if the message is empty. That is the big problem. For the rest, everything goes. For the rest, everything is fine. Because if we don't check this message, we can just delete that. And we can paste in the thing where it counts 1, right? So now, whatever happens, it counts 1 extra total TTS. But if there's no message, I would like it to not count it, but we can't count it here. Why does this not... Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so we are not going to correct. We're also not going to increase the total here. We're going to add a new one. And we'll call this one just increment. Just speak message increment. And that one is not in the text-to-speech queue. So it's similar as we did before. This just increases the total TTS by 1. Right? Then grabs the total TTS as a local variable and writes that. That's all it does. That's all it needs to do. So the total TTS is then kept in check. Just deleting some sub-actions here. And that's just what this does, right? Or not this one. Speak message increment. The speak message increment does that. I'm gonna have to figure a way how I can stop making this so blurry for you all. Because I already thought it was slightly blurry. Is there a blur filter on this? No, there isn't. There's no blur filter. The blur filter is on the background. So I don't have a blur filter on this one. Oh, well. I'll figure that out. I'll figure that out so this becomes a little less blurry. Can I... Wait. For now, as a hack, can I put a sharpen over that? Can I put a slight sharpen over there? And just... yeah, look at that. Look at that! It's a lot better. I've just sharpened it a little bit. That works. Just as a temporary fix. It's not great, but it works for now. So now we have increment. It adds a total TTS. Then it gets it and writes it to the GDI, which is the little 4 that you guys see on the screen. That is my GDI. And then, really, all I need to do is copy these and put them in here. These are the triggers. These tell Streamer.Bot what to do and when to do it. Specifically, when to do it. What to do is your sub-actions. Triggers is when to do it. So whenever a super chat comes in from YouTube, a chat comes in from Twitch, or a tip comes in from Stream Elements. And that's it. That's it. We got this. That is really what we need. Right? This is the important part. Then what's the next part? So this increment, right? That just starts adding numbers, as you guys can see. Whenever I test one of these, it just adds a number. But it doesn't do anything over here. And then when I tell it, okay, I want to hear the next message. Yeah, pretty much in Spera. So what the trigger does, it says, whenever so in this case, it is if a Twitch chat, if there is an event, because that's how Streamer.Bot works, it registers events that happen. If a bit cheer happens, then do this. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Different from the if-thens that we can also add to these, but that's something else. Okay, right? This is fine so far. This is fine. So now we have, and if I do this, it will start playing something and it will up the left number.
Test user dropped a USD 42 tip and says, this is a Stream Elements tip trigger test.
Perfect. So that actually works exactly how I want it to. That works exactly how I want it to. There's only one thing, as I said, that it isn't doing. And that is that it isn't testing if there is an empty message. Because what I want to... So, the big difference that I'm trying to make here is if somebody gives 500 bits, but doesn't have a message, I don't want it to increase... I don't want it to do that increment. Because there is no TTS to listen to. But I also don't want it to then add the TTS to the list. I mean, that is ugly. There is a solution, but the solution is ugly. There is a solution. Let's see how elegant we can do this one. So we have a speak message master. That is really just for checking everything, right? And then we'll do a speak message count increment. Maybe it isn't as ugly. Maybe it isn't as ugly as I think. So what we can do is paste this in here. Not add group. No. don't add group. Paste this in here. Smart times. We have the increment now in its separate action. And what master is going to do, right, is it's going to do two things. This one should. Oh. I'm gonna do this. I think this is best in C#. I think this is best in C#. It's very simple what it's gonna do. But this is easiest done in C#. Because what it's gonna do is if... So, oh, wait. Yeah, cancel. I quickly need to grab something from another one. This string. There we go. And I suppose the whole increment thing could also be done in here at that point. Then we don't need that one. But I wanted to avoid as much C# as possible. But we're now to a point where it doesn't work otherwise. So we're going to say we are going to read in event source. That's what we're going to read in. Right? That's what we're going to read in. Okay. That's fine. All event source says is where is this coming from? So what we're going to say... I can stop it. Now it's not following my mouse anymore, right? Perfect. Aha. If event source equals stream elements, what's it going to do? It is going to read message, except it's actually called tip message. Just like we've done before. Tip message. Okay. If the event source is YouTube, we are also going to define a message. Also going to define this one. Does this need a double? Oh, right. I need to designate these as strings. And then it's not equal. It's a Boolean test. It's a truth test. There we go. And really what we want this to do is... this is just message. Does bits even have message? Or is that raw input? No, it does have message. Bits, message. Yeah, it does have message. Okay. So YouTube does this. And similarly, I'm just going to copy paste that for Twitch. Because there it also needs to recover the message. Except it doesn't. Here it needs to get message cheer modes stripped. Right? That's what it needs to get. And all it's going to do... These are all strings. And all it's going to do is... We're going to do a simple if check. Let me do this correctly. Let me annotate it. Recover the... Or read in... the event source... and data related to each event source. Then the next step that we are going to do is check if a message is empty. If not, then add a total thing. Add a total TTS increment. Okay. If message is not empty, then, well, all we need to do is cph get global variable, and the variable is going to be an integer, and the integer we are going to grab is called total TTS, and it is persisted. Then we set int new total to total TTS plus 1. cph set global variable total TTS the value is going to be new total, and it is persisted. Total TTS does not exist in the current context. Name message doesn't exist in it. But we set a that's why. One moment. String message equals new. Or default. It gets updated anyway. We need to make that available to the last bit. And it says total TTS does not exist. And that is because I did not define total TTS here as an integer. Argument cannot convert from int to string. Wait, what? It can still not convert. Where is this? Line 31. Oh, new total is still an integer, and that needs to be a string. Yes. Int does. I can cast int to string. Total TTS. Is that even a string? Or is that even an integer that we get out? I think so. Pretty sure that we can. Am I gonna have to do string parse? New total. String does not contain. No. Okay. So we can just go string here, parentheses these, and say to string. I know, Nuki. I know C# isn't great, but you know what it is? All this does is C#. Streamer.Bot is completely built on C#. But I don't. Hold up a second. Hold up a second. That was the mistake. Ah, okay. Sorry, it said argument 1 on the bottom here. That didn't work. So I went to argument 1. But that's not argument 1. That's argument 1. Of course, I count index 0 when I'm programming. So now what this does is it checks all these messages. And if there is no message, or if there is a message, it adds 1 to the total TTS. And that's it. And then it just goes, okay, that's great, right? It does that. And then it gets the global TTS, sets it as total TTS, and then writes it. So if this triggers, it works. It works. And then in here, what we do is the same as we did before, which is a simple if-then statement. 1 second. Okay, so variable is going to be, for which one are we making? Stream elements, right? So if tip message is null or empty, nothing. Do nothing and break. Copy this one, put it into the Twitch one. Do the same thing. If message cheer modes stripped is null or empty, continue. Same for YouTube. If message is empty, do nothing and break. What that does is it now goes and checks if a message is empty, and it doesn't add an increment. It just doesn't. But on top of that, it only adds it, and then it also checks if it needs to add a message, which it won't. It will put it in here. I'll press the button, and it will go, nah, don't need to do anything. I don't need to do anything. It's fine. Perfect. Well, virtually perfect. I would love if I could have made it so that this check happens before it gets added to the queue. But that would just cause mess. Because we would have way more speak messages while they're not needed. Just totally not needed. And we already have too many, in my opinion, but I was hoping to be able to do it with 3. But I suppose this is okay. Almost. So the only time that this would not be okay... the only time that this would not be okay is because it is still going to be in the queue. So when I press the button, it is still going to increment the number on the left side, the current TTS number. And that's why I thought there has to be a cleaner way to do this, but apparently there might not be. Unless we start using more code and fewer references to actual messages. Because there's one more thing which we haven't even touched yet, which I do have to do. Well, we can steal that. That's fine. From the other one, for version 1. We will also need this one, I just realized. We will also need this one. The text-to-speech setup. Okay, we made decent progress, I have to say. The only thing I would wish I could still fix right now is to get the action TTS thing to be changed. So we can get the action TTS, so the next message thing to automatically kick out these. That would be nice. But that means just adding more to the code here. Or writing a new block of code, which works as well. But then everything is going to be in code. Suppose that's fine? As long as we... So, the reason it takes so long is because we were using files instead of messages. So, what we could do is... in this master one, set a code up that lets us know, thank you for the lurk, Inspira, that lets us know yeah, so what that would do, McKenna, is that instead of... Look, right now, what this one does is it checks all these things and then says, if not, then if there's no message, then we're not going to add to the total TTS. This is actually quite interesting. This is really, really interesting. Because what we could do was write it in code. Or we could be a bit sneaky. Because if we look, every time there's a redemption, it attaches a message. Every time there's a redemption, it attaches a message. Now, what we're checking, right? What we're checking when we do these message things is we're checking if the message is empty. If the message is not empty, then we are adding it anyway to the TTS queue. And it's going to be there. So what we're going to do... sometimes you need to think creatively when you're coding. In the next message thing, instead of saying, "Oh, we're gonna add this to the current TTS," right? And then we do the code thing where we do the timestamp. Yeah. We're not going to add to the TTS. Instead, we do here. That we're going to take the code that we just used here. This idea, I'm just going to copy and paste it just so we have it with us in the code tab. right? We have it here. And really what we're going to do is we're going to say if... so we're going to read in the message. We're going to read in the attached message to each of these redeems. Okay. Now we're just going to say if message is not empty. Look, that's the exact same check we're doing down here. Let me remove this. We don't need that anymore. The exact same check we're doing down here. So, if in the other program it says there is no TTS, this program will also say there is no TTS. Hey, Graham, thank you for the follow, you legend. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. And really what this is just going to say is, oh, well, if there is no message, well, then we don't need to check for wait time, right? We don't need to check. It's just not needed. But also, we don't need to check for current TTS messages. Thank you so much for popping in with the raid. That is much appreciated. Much appreciated. And here we call it current TTS, because that is also the variable it's going to pull from. And we're just going to say, oh, well, if that happens... My day is going amazing. Yeah, really, really good. Thank you. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm loving this sort of stuff. So now what this does, right? What this does is just saying, oh, but if there is no... If it's in the queue, right? If it's in the queue and there is no message, we're just not going to increase and we're not going to check for wait time. We're just not going to do that at all. Which means that when we do this and there is no message, it's going to get the current TTS, which has not changed, and set it in, which has not changed. That should work. And then it will also not parse the TTS time and that sort of stuff because we don't need it. So while it has to do a little extra work, this should actually fix the whole problem. When we test one of these, how many do we have in the queue? None. We test one of these, a number gets added. That automatically causes this one to also trigger. That goes onto the queue. And if there is a message, we press a button, we press a hotkey, and the thing goes up.
Coffee Cloud X dropped 42 bits and says this is a Twitch tier trigger test, Swift Rage 42.
Except it didn't go up. Why didn't it go up? Let's inspect the variables. So it spoke. Oh, wait, no, it reads from these, doesn't it? It reads from the next message, and there, it doesn't exist. Ah, okay. But that's an easy solve. Or that should be an easy solve. Because we just, when we start the TTS, we set up another one, which is going to be text TTS with a standard value of default. Actually, a standard value of nothing. Oh, can't do that. Default then. So what that does, now we have a text TTS thing that says it does nothing, right? And we need this message thing, but we're reading that in anyway. So we can take the set global text TTS into each of these. Does it? No, because it will run this first. So it doesn't know what it will be doing at this point. No, it will. No, it will. It will. It should. So text TTS then becomes argument message. And then when this runs, the global variable will be set. And then in next message, in our code, instead of checking the string message, this is cph get global var string. Variable name is text TTS. And it is persisted. Because what this now does is, I was thinking maybe it wouldn't know what it was we're talking about. But it does, because... Actually, I'm going to increase this just a tad. Just a tad. Because it will unpause the queue first. Right? That's the first thing it does. Well, it checks the vault time first. But then it unpauses the queue. And when it unpauses the queue, that is the moment that it goes, oh, okay. Super. Now I know what... Now the new global variable will be set. And then it checks the global variable. Then it gets it. So it will be updated before... Yeah. Don't know if we need to delay this so much. Maybe we can only delay it 100 milliseconds and it's fine. 250 to be safe. 250 milliseconds is a quarter second. You're not going to notice that much. Test. That adds it to the queue. Right here. We've added it to the queue. Okay. Now let's do the next message thing.
Suit up, Gordon. Drop 42 bits and says this is a Twitch cheer trigger test unit 42.
It worked. The thing went up. The thing went up. Nice. Okay, so now the only thing I have to do is copy the thing that allows me to post it directly to Discord, and that's it. And that's it. Then I'm done. That's done. Super. However, that will be something that we do next time, because I am going to have to make some food and get ready for some other stuff. Thank you all so much for being here. I can't raid. I'm not an affiliate yet, so I just can't raid. I'm going to thank you all very much for being here. It's been an absolute blast. I really enjoyed this. I'm going to do this more. I have to do this more. It is so much fun. And both on YouTube and on Twitch, thank you so much for being here. Until next time,